Russian fantastica never gets enough love in movie buff circles. Of course, accessing the films is often difficult and subtitles have to be created, and Hollywood can act like Professor Serizawa's oxygen destroyer in the original Godzilla and suck up all the O2. Embracing the imaginative works of other cultures is one of the ways I feel refreshed as a film buff. Yeah, we can stay on the nostalgia train, continually grooving on the movies and other media we enjoyed in our younger years, and this channel has done really well with exactly that. But for me, crossing linguistic and cultural borders to discover unfamiliar and magical movies really refreshes my passion for cinema. I'm self-educated. Seeking out new knowledge is as natural to me as breathing or farting. In 2004 and 2006, we got two Russian fantasy films directed by Timur Bekmambetov, based on the novels of Sergei Lukyanenko, which went toe-to-toe with Hollywood action films without compromising their own cultural integrity. Night Watch and Day Watch are worth checking out. But before we look at those movies, the channel has just reached 5,000 subscribers, which is 17 different kinds of wonderful. Thanks to all of you people whom my statistics show are all somewhere between really bloody old and in the queue for the crematorium. Don't die, keep watching the channel. Day Watch, the first of the two movies, was originally commissioned by Channel 1 Russia as a 4-part miniseries for television. Shortly after filming started, the suits looked at the rushes and decided to make it a feature film, and any subsequent movies in the series to be a feature film as well. The movies, Nochnoi Dozor and Dnevnoy Dozor, are urban fantasies set in and around Moscow. The magical forces of darkness and light fight a medieval battle which threatens to totally destroy both sides. Gesa, the leader of the Light Others, and Zavalon, the leader of the Dark Others, reach an agreement. The Night Watch will police the Dark Others, and the Day Watch will police the Light Others. The movie then cuts to 1992, where Anton, a young man, goes to a witch to get her to cast a spell to get his ex-girlfriend to come back to him. The witch Daria tells him his girlfriend is carrying another man's child, and suggests she also casts a spell to have the woman miscarry the baby. Bitter and unhappy, Anton agrees, then changes his mind just as the Night Watch arrive to arrest the witch. Anton can see them, which means he is also an other, a magic user, and he's recruited into the Night Watch. 12 years later, Anton kills a Dark Other vampire to protect a child, and the movie dives deep into the decades-long power games played by both the Light and the Dark Others against one another. It's best to consider Night Watch and Day Watch as a single movie in the same way Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame are one long narrative. There are plot threads that straddle both movies, with the first one focusing on the Night Watch, and the second one giving us more of Zavalon and the Day Watch, as two potential great others emerge, either one of whom may bring on the apocalypse. Sergei Lukyanenko's original novels are quite episodic, usually 3 stories nailed together, and that carries over into the movies to a certain extent, but the world building here, it manifests in a really interesting and economical way. There's the gloom, a darker level of reality, and they create it using harsh lighting, focused production design, and some CGI mosquitoes which inhabit the gloom and appear in our top-level reality when people move from one to the other. Bekmambetov also uses fast cutting and a driving hard rock soundtrack during the action scenes to turn the limitations of his budget and the technology available into a virtue. This is an urban fantasy series that drank a 6-pack of Red Bull. The second movie, Day Watch, expands the mythology. We find out in greater detail how the others are punished for breaking the rules. They get turned into animals for the duration of their sentences. We also see the improvisational nature of the magic system in this world. Anton in particular is good at using what's around him to cast a spell, though nowhere near as powerful and ruthless as his boss Gesa. We also learn that the others are stronger and tougher than baseline humanity. Anton is a flawed protagonist. He's an alcoholic who can't seem to come to terms with his past, and he isn't a particularly powerful other. Like his team, he's working class. In Moscow, the Day Watch masquerades as part of the electricity company, and their teams are dispatched in souped-up utility trucks. Contrary to that, the Day Watch, and Zavalon in particular, dress and act like the Russian mafia. I'm sure there are a lot of cultural nuances in these two movies that I miss, but I do like the fact that in the second movie, the apocalypse destroys the Ostankino Tower, which is the headquarters of Channel 1 Russia, the company that produced the series. The acting is really great. Konstantin Kabensky's Anton is a slovenly wreck of a man worn down by his life choices and the work he's recruited to do to protect the mundane world from the dark others. Vladimir Menshov as Gesser and Viktor Verbzinski as Zavalon are great antagonists. We also get Maria Poroshina as Sveta, a possible love interest for Anton who is fierce and on point, and Galina Tunina as Olga, a powerful light other who spent 70 years as a stuffed owl, gets to really stretch her acting muscles in the second movie in particular, playing a dual role. The director Timur Bekmambetov went to Hollywood for a time directing Wanted with Angelina Jolie and James McAvoy in it, and a bombastic and ill-considered Ben-Hur remake. In more recent times he's been directing some interesting-looking Russian films. The guy has a real talent for action cinema and character development. In Night Watch and Day Watch I also like the fact that computer effects are used strategically in these movies. They serve the story and the world building. There's also some really uncomfortable looking stunt work here, so what's not to love? There are a couple of versions of Night Watch, an international version which is 10 minutes shorter than the full 114 minutes of the movie, and that was the first one released on DVD in Anglophone markets. Get the fuller version. I've seen them both because I bought the DVD originally, and the shorter version is less coherent. Understanding the world's a lot more difficult if you watch that version of the movie. Day Watch is a longer film coming in at 145 minutes, but for me at least the time passes quickly and the series ends on a satisfying note. If you haven't seen these movies, you should really check them out. Expand your horizons a little bit. Go places you haven't gone to before. Go outside your comfort zone. Enjoy new things. Enjoy some Russian Fantastica. I'm going to be talking about a couple of other Russian movies later on in some other videos because there are some really mind-blowingly good things about which very few people in the English language world know. That's it for this time around. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, liking, leaving a comment about what Russian films you really like. And you can also support the channel by going to patreon.com/paleocinema and becoming one of the patrons of the channel that way. We're in the 4th day of lockdown here, so I've been watching a lot of movies, so there's a lot more to come. On Saturday, there's going to be another video of 1960s science fiction hidden gems, so look forward to that. And in the meantime, watch some good movies, watch some bad movies. If you haven't already, get the jab. If you have already, thank you. And I'll catch you next time.